Welcome to Season 13 of Park Survival. 3 people have been dropped into this park: Sarah, Jacob, and Ryan. If all 3 are able to survive for 100 days, they will be allowed to leave. Otherwise, they'll just be dead. If they try to leave before, they will ruin our ratings. I am your host. I shall provide the play-by-play of these idiots. As the 3 survivors begin their journey, they introduce themselves with cheesy name games. But there is no time for chitter-chatter. The park is infested with wild beasts, from tigers to giraffes. And as the sun begins to descend, they must form some sort of shelter. Jacob and Ryan will sleep at the top of the slides, so if a bear attempts to attack them, they can slide down to safety. Sarah will sit upon the grass because she thinks the others smell bad. 99 days remain, and the survivors have nothing but their lives and their values: friendship, cooperation, and recycling. Today, they search for water, but there is no reservoir to be found, not even a water fountain. They are forced to use the canteens for hydration, but there is not much to go around. Food too is in low supply. Because it is Passover, they are unable to eat bread. They must settle for matzah, which tastes like stale cardboard. As basic needs are established, the survivors can now find a source of entertainment. They can watch March Madness on their iPhones. Unfortunately, they forgot to make brackets. Alas, when the cellular contraption has died, they must search for a new source. A Rubik's Cube lies in the grass. It has taken them 17 minutes to realize that the sides turn. After weeks of frustration, they've decided that the Rubik's Cube is retarded. They begin to play cards. Unfortunately, they know no games. For the next few hours, they will have a 52 card pickup tournament. Entertainment remains an issue. A magical rotating tic-tac-toe board was found. It got boring after 2 cards games. Next, they played a slightly modified game of spin the bottle. However, since there were no bottles to be found, they were forced to use a piece of tanbak instead. And spin the tanbak does not have a very nice ring to it. A basketball too was found, and they began to play. However, it did not take them very long to realize that the teams were a little bit uneven. There was a promising start, but now things are not looking up for the survivors. Water, food, and clean socks are in short supply. Meanwhile, a storm ruined the boys' shelter. They were forced to relocate. However, the largest obstacle is the imminent threat of chopped lips. Sarah's chopstick has expired, and as Napoleon Dynamite would say, her lips hurt real bad. Today they search for a new food source. A McDonald's bug has been found. Although the food contains the necessary vitamins and minerals to survive, it's not edible because there is bread. Removing the meat is not an option because it ruins the hamburger concept. Alas, the loss of the cardboard is gone. Luckily, each is well nutritionized. Sarah has begun to bite her nails because it is a renewable resource. Ryan is consuming the grass, which is what his ancestors did as they migrated from Kentucky to Sri Lanka. Meanwhile, Jacob is eating Piper because it comes from a tree. It must be a vegetable. Esophagi have become extremely dry. Verbal communication is no longer possible. They are now forced to use braille. Fortunately, there's a guide at the park. A wolf has been found, but it can't be eaten because it has swine flu. The Dais grow powerless and their societies beginning to break down. Values are being lost. No longer is there friendship, no recycling. Cooperation still remains, however, but as they begin to fight over the dwindling shampoo reserves, tension rises. They are giving each other the silent treatment, but because they can't speak any longer, they already were. One more die remains between the survivors and release. The last 10 dies were brutal. Jacob cried no less than 6 times. But today, they sit down and discuss, in Braille of course, how salvation is just around the corner. Literally. Although they have not drank, bathed, or been on Facebook in approximately 23 days, MySpace in 23 years, they have agreed to get along once more and make sure they can last just one final die. The 100 dies up, and all have lived to tell the tale. They are free to leave, but none can. Ryan fractured his spine when he fell off the slide. Sarah couldn't even fit because she was too fat. And Jacob is on the verge of death due to severe constipation. Looks like we won't have a happy ending after all. Join us next week as we move locations to an abandoned pizzeria. I'm your unnamed narrator, and goodbye.